In this video, I want to show you the alternatives to AliExpress. So a lot of people, they're starting from AliExpress, and myself, I also started from AliExpress, and we scaled our stores to quite a decent level. We scaled them to 7 figures in sales. But as a starting point, we use AliExpress. But then what do you do next? Like, what is the next transition? What is the next step in that evolution of you as an entrepreneur, as e-commerce entrepreneur, as dropshipper? So what is the way basically for you to scale up from there, and how to basically deliver the best customer experience for your clients that you can afford, and how to make the business, more like real business, scalable, and how to basically do it towards that process. So this video, I want to show you exactly that. Obviously, AliExpress is a good starting point, but in my experience, you have to move away from it as soon as possible, and there are a few reasons for that. So first of all, it's overpriced. The prices that you see on AliExpress, they are not the best prices because it's more like retail, right? So it's like big like resellers, and also the companies like manufacturers, they resell these items as more like at a retail price. And always, if you buy something at a retail price, it's more expensive than you buy in a wholesale, right? So think about it in this way. So you want to move away from it as soon as possible, and you need to evolve. As entrepreneur, as business owner, as dropshipper, or e-commerce entrepreneur, you have to evolve as soon as possible from it. And so logistics and shipping is one of the main reasons dropshippers in particular, they get smashed by payment processors like by PayPal, by Stripe, because just imagine it, right? So let's say PayPal gives you the access to their solution, so customers can pay you, and then they see that you shipping, you basically get paid by your customers, but you don't ship your items, or you ship them for a long time. So then you have a lot of disputes, right? So the goal for PayPal or Stripe, for any of those platforms, is for customers to be happy, because if they get a lot of chargebacks, they get they basically get back feedback from the banks and processors like MasterCard or Visa that they work with. So they, it's in their best interest if you have good customer experience, if you work in a good manner, it's a good business, and you basically don't have those issues if you do it that way. So with AliExpress, it's quite difficult because you have a lot of bad customer reviews because of quality of the product, because of the slow shipping time, and oftentimes there's also fraud from suppliers. So me personally, I've ordered quite a lot of items when it was Q4. Few years ago, when it was very demanding from we basically sold a lot of stuff, and then we needed to fulfill it very fast. We didn't expect it, and we ordered a lot of items from the same supplier, and we made a big mistake because that supplier wasn't very good, and the items that they have sent, they basically provided us fake tracking numbers, so it looked like they've sent items, but then it was in transit, and then 2 months after, a lot of chargebacks and stuff, customers started to file chargebacks for us, and we started checking those numbers, and it still was in transit. So they basically provided us with fake tracking numbers. We tried to reach out to them, we tried to get refunds, and we couldn't get anywhere because it was already past 60-day period with that specific supplier. So we've been burned quite a lot by those AliExpress, and we had bad experience as well, processing time, slow shipping and delays. These are unhappy customers. So you want to avoid it, and you want to evolve from it as soon as possible. Now, inefficient oftentimes, if you're selling specific different products, if you're still with Shopify, if you're not with funnels, if you haven't found your good winners that you can scale with funnels, then you might work with several suppliers to fulfill products, and that is not efficient because you have several spreadsheets, or you communicating with all of them, then you have some refunds, you have some bad quality products. So it's kind of not efficient in that way to work with them. But still, you have to start somewhere. If you're just starting out, I would work with top brands. So in this particular situation, so let's say if you work with AliExpress, then you basically would work with companies that have, for example, if I would search for a company, just to provide you an example, right? There's category of companies that are called like top brands. So if I just sort by number of orders, let's say I wanted to sell, yeah, like this one, because you can see it has like a star next to it, right? So if I go here, I can see the information about the suppliers. You can see it's top brands. So I would recommend you work with top brands because, I mean, they might not have like all of the, products that you sell, but if you find any of the products, they, they can drop ship in most of the cases for you. And also they have a good like reputation. It's kind of like, like recommended to work with at least like as a starting stage to work with these companies. You can see also the feedbacks. They have some issues with, communication and shipping speed, but they've been around for some time. So at least it's kind of like some proof of concept that, they've been doing like good job in terms of, that feedback ratio. They've been around for some time, so it's not guaranteed that they will deliver items on time, but it's kind of like it's better than most of the options. They sold a lot of items, so you want to just go and check like if they had like good reviews on those. So 10,000 reviews, you want to see how many like 1-star reviews they had. It's not many, just like 2%. Obviously it's it's a big volume, so it's kind of like you want to go and verify that. So overall satisfaction rate is 97%, which is quite good. Then as you can see, that's the app that we are using for this purpose. And so not number of items, number of sales made, so 36,000, and average price is $14. So you can see all of these stats here basically. So that's the example, right? It's called top brands. So it's a good starting point if you just start selling like through dropshipping. So these are worthwhile to start with. 4+7 reputation, a long time around. I think these are like good starting point indicators. When we got burned, like we didn't take these into consideration. That's why I'm recommending this to you to kind of like reverse. And it's not guaranteed that these will be like good guys to work with, but at least these are kind of like the homework that you do before you start working with someone. So there's a good chance these are good suppliers to work with and start with at least. Now, multiple products with good reviews. So what I mean by this is like you would just go and see, like for example, so you've seen like this product, for example, it has good reviews, right? So then you don't want to just like rely on one product, right? For these reviews, you would just go and see, okay, so what are reviews on this product? And if they're still good, so yeah, 1%, one star, they have just a few of them. Then let's see this one, 4.7. It's okay. So it's not perfect, but it's still good, right? So you kind of like get an indication of the product, of basically their customer satisfaction, right? So that's kind of the starting point that I recommend you start with. You do this kind of like research and work with these suppliers. Now, when you have 30 plus orders per day, then you would work with dropshipping agent, and dropshipping agents can find products and send directly to your customers. They can integrate with app or Sheets, Google Sheets to speed up fulfillment. They are typically faster than AliExpress and cheaper. Sometimes they have like 10-day shipping, which is quite good. So you can ship items to like in 10 days and have your customers like quite satisfied. It's not like 20-30 days. They can also buy you can also buy products in bulk, have them in the warehouse of the agent to speed up shipping. So as soon as you get an order, like within 24 hours, you can just ship those items as soon as possible. And my recommend one is provided below this video, so please check it out. And so that's one I recommend. Work with them for some time, and we fulfill quite a lot of orders through them. So I recommend them, and you can just reach out to them and start working with them on fulfilling your orders. But then take into consideration that 30 plus orders a day, or at least like 800, 1,000 orders per month. That's kind of like what makes for an agent to work with you, because they also want to make money on the volume and on the number of orders that you make. They also need to make their margin for all of the efforts they do. So the way it works, like you would reach out to the agent, you would say, okay, so I want to find this product. What is the best price you can find it for? They would search, like they would ask manufacturers, they would source the product for you, and then they would ship directly to your customers. So you save a lot of time and like going through different manufacturers, sourcing the product. So it's kind of like good in terms of like time efficiency. Now, if you are over 500 orders a day, I recommend US based, or whatever the main country is for you. So you want to evolve. You want to evolve as soon as possible. You want to provide your customers good experience, because the better experience you provide, the more sustainable your business will be, the more the better feedback will be on your Facebook page, or overall for your business with reviews. So the more customers will have trust for you, and also the less issues you will have with Stripe, with PayPal, with different payment processors, if you have less chargebacks and less customers that are not satisfied with your speed or speed of delivery, right? You have 100% control over inventory and speed of delivery, so that's awesome. Then you can also have 2 to 5 days shipping if it's in the USA. If you have a warehouse in the United States, then if that's more complex to manage and organize, then if you have, for example, several warehouses, you can use solution like a Katana, so where you have multiple warehouses, how much stock you have in each. It's more complex. It's where you do quite decent volume. So if you're just starting out, or you only having several items, several products you sell, or it's simpler business model for you, then you don't need to do that. And so it basically adds extra complexity if you have several fulfillment center worldwide. But then at the same time, you would do serious volume. So all of those things would you would have resources basically to resolve all of these problems. You would do $500-1 million per month if you have several fulfillment centers. If you're below that level, probably doesn't make sense for you to have several fulfillment centers. You can just have one, just focus on one market. But you want to evolve as soon as possible. And if you want to do fulfillment from United States, I recommend dollarfulfillment.com. It's a good one. So you can just reach out to them, ask how much it will cost for you to host, to keep your items in their warehouse, to ship those items, basically all the fees and everything. So you have you can estimate whether it's makes sense for you to do. And so that's kind of the evolvement that you need to do. You need to evolve, from AliExpress to your own agent to basically have your own warehouse. And it's kind of depending on the volume that you do. You don't do this right away. You don't do this right away because it doesn't make sense. You probably will spend more than you need to. And at the beginning, you need to make good profit margins, and you need to have good resources to scale up. So we selling products with high profit margins, so we can afford this evolution. But if you're not at that stage, if you don't make a lot of sales, then you would just start with the simplest solution. You would get traction, you would accumulate cash flow and capital, and then you would gradually evolve. But when you get this traction, you would want to evolve as soon as possible to kind of deliver better experience for your customer, so your business will be more sustainable in long term, and you also make more money because you do it for a long term, and your customers are happy and everyone is happy. So that's what I recommend, guys. These are basically the things that you can do to evolve, from the start to basically $1 million per month in sales. That's a strategy for dropshipping, and also for e-commerce as well. If you want to evolve from dropshipping to e-commerce, you would do it the same way. You would validate the product, then you would go to your own agent, then you would do US based. You would work on your branding, on your packaging, on fast delivery, and delivering amazing customer experience for your customers. So that is it for this video, guys. Don't forget to evolve, and I'll see you next video. Please subscribe to my channel if you like this video, so I'll shoot more videos like this, and that will help you to scale your business